Holly Willoughby and Phillip Schofield were once the closest of friends, with Phil even once describing his This Morning co-host as the sister he never had. However, the former co-presenter's relationship is now a far cry from what it was, with Phillip, 62, recently appearing to take a swipe at Holly in a furious tirade about his time with ITV. Once one of daytime tally's most well-liked duos, the pair haven't been seen together since Phillip's explosive exit from This Morning, and it doesn't appear as though any fences will be mended anytime soon. As Phillip prepares to return to our screens in Channel 5's Castaway, evidence would suggest that Holly would be the last person he'd be keen to share a deserted island with. Here, the Mirror takes a look at the fractured double act's allegedly bitter feud. Jealousy. Back in 2019, their working relationship was said to have become strained amid claims that Phil was jealous when Holly replaced Ant McPartlin on the 2018 series of I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here and won a BAFTA for it. Sources allege that Phil banned Holly from speaking about her victory on the show, and claimed he wasn't happy about a photo spread in a weekend newspaper that had focused on Holly and not him. The source told The Sun, Phillip was furious. He didn't want Holly mentioning her triumph when they reunited on This Morning. It felt very petty and bitter for someone who is his close friend. But it felt like he was jealous. Tensions were also said to have increased when Holly allegedly wanted Phil to stop posting videos of her boozing on social media but used their joint management company to deliver her request. This Morning bosses hit back at the claims and said Phillip and Holly had a genuine friendship. A spokesperson said, "We have the smartest viewers watching telly and believe me they would be the first to notice any issues, they haven't because there are none." ITV also refuted any unrest, saying in a full statement, "It's deeply disappointing and unfair for Phillip to be the target of this sort of malicious gossip." Phillip is a much respected broadcaster and colleague, and this is absolutely not a description of This Morning that we recognize. Holly and Phil are great friends both on and off screen and are popular among viewers and colleagues alike. Finally addressing the rumors in 2021, Holly told pal Fern Cotton's Happy Place podcast that she couldn't deal with people having the wrong idea. She said, "I was watching from afar when you've got every person in the press saying that you and Phillip are having a tough time. Meanwhile, you're great friends and there were no arguments. That was a particularly difficult time. But I remember having a conversation with Phil and it was like, but we know." Holly added, "I have to believe that, as long as you know inside, and you know the truth, you know your truth, then everything is okay." Q-Gate drama. The pair found themselves at the center of a social media backlash in September after being falsely accused of jumping the queue to visit the Queen lying in state. This Morning and the presenters later issued a statement clarifying the issue, but public anger continued to rise, with over 75,000 signing a petition to axe Holly and Phil from the ITV show. A source told OK! that the atmosphere in the studio was awful and the Q-Gate drama has made their relationship extremely awkward. "You could cut the tension in the room with a knife," the insider said. The fact that the audience are now noticing it too indicates that big cracks are starting to show. At the time, Phil and Holly told viewers, "Like hundreds of accredited broadcasters and journalists, we were given official permission to access the hall. It was strictly for the purpose of reporting on the event for millions of people in the UK who haven't been able to visit Westminster in person. The rules were that we would be quickly escorted around the edges to a platform at the back. In contrast, those paying respects walked along a carpeted area beside the coffin and were given time to pause." None of the broadcasters and journalists took anyone's places in the queue and no one filed past the Queen. We of course respected those rules, however we realize that it may have looked like something else and therefore we totally understand the reaction. Please know that we would never jump a queue." Kept in the dark despite their closeness, Phillip is said to have kept Holly in the dark over his brother Timothy's trial for child sex offences. Timothy was sentenced to 12 years in prison after being found guilty of sexually abusing a teenage boy. During the hearing, Phil, who has since publicly rejected his brother, took 3 weeks off work from This Morning, and fans were surprised when, on his return, Holly took a week off sick with shingles. An insider told the Daily Mail, Holly had to find out from someone else, which must have been awful for her. She has been so loyal to him. Distancing herself, eagle-eyed fans noticed 42-year-old Holly has seemingly wiped Phillip from her social media. In her Twitter bio she had previously written, "I was introduced to this by a Twitter legend," before tagging her presenting partner. Her Twitter bio now reads, "Broadcaster, founder of Wild Moon, brand ambassador for Marks & Spencer and Garnier, author of Reflections, something that didn't slip past her and Phil's viewers." Before Phillip announced his immediate leave from This Morning, Holly had reportedly been pushing for ITV to make a decision, so she could rebrand herself as a woman's woman. At the time, a source told The Mirror, Holly was considering her position on the show earlier this year, as she couldn't see Phil being ousted. But that is now a real possibility and she wants to see a decision made on both of their futures quickly. That is what is behind Holly asking her team to reach out to ITV. She is trying to move things forward. There has been no bloodbath meeting yet, but that could well be to come. The sooner it happens, the sooner she can rebrand herself. Shock statement. In a statement to The Sun, Phillip shut down any suggestion that his friendship with Holly had suffered. Describing her as his rock, he said, "The last few weeks haven't been easy for either of us. My family went through a real ordeal. And Holly's support throughout meant the world to me, as did the support of my bosses at ITV, my editor Martin Frizzell and the whole This Morning family, including our amazing viewers." Phillip explained that Holly had been his pal through thick and thin. But Holly is said to have been blindsided and deeply upset by the statement, as she had no idea Phil was going to speak publicly about their rumored rift. A source claimed it was desperate stuff from Phillip given the current state of their relationship. There was no public reply from Holly. Missing tribute. Phillip announced he was stepping down as host of This Morning with immediate effect in May 2023, but his statement failed to address his co-host of over 13 years. The TV stalwart said, "I have always been proud to cover fascinating stories on This Morning. But recently, This Morning itself has become the story. Throughout my career in TV, including the very difficult last few days, I have always done my best to be honorable and kind. I understand that ITV has decided the current situation can't go on, and I want to do what I can to protect the show that I love. So I have agreed to step down from This Morning with immediate effect, in the hope that the show can move forward to a bright future. I'd like to thank everyone who has supported me, especially This Morning's amazing viewers, and I'll see you all for the Soap Awards next month." Many fans took to social media after noticing there was no mention of Holly, who at that point remained as a presenter on the show, with one viewer commenting, "Working with someone that long and no mention of them in your statement." Meanwhile, Holly shared a sweet tribute to her former co-host on Instagram. She wrote, "Hi everyone. It's been over 13 great years presenting This Morning with Phil, and I want to take this opportunity to thank him for all of his knowledge, his experience and his humor. The sofa won't feel the same without him. Phillip shared his statement on Instagram but once again did not mention Holly. Shortly afterwards, it was announced that Holly would be taking a break over the school holidays, with Alison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary stepping in explaining Holly's absence at the time. Dermot said, "Holly is taking a break over half-term, she'll be back in the studio in 2 weeks." In October of that year, Holly also stepped down from This Morning, following a terrifying kidnap plot. In a statement, Holly told fans, "It's been an honor to just be part of its story, and I know this story has many chapters left to go. Sadly, however, I now feel I have to make this decision for me and my family. I will miss you all so much." Apparent mockery. In episode 2 of Phillip Schofield, Castaway, Phillip could be seen appearing to mock Holly as he asked his family, "If you're okay, then we're okay and I'm okay. Are you okay?" Holly famously asked this question, "Are you okay?" of viewers after Phillip quit This Morning last year, with some viewers slamming the intro as awkward and cringy. Fake friends comment. In another Castaway scene, Phillip could be seen ranting about the lack of support he received following his This Morning exit. He remarked, "When what happened to me, it screwed up my favorite building in the world, and it pretty well blew away all those happy memories, and suddenly the place became hostile to me, and that was heartbreaking. And the people who did it to me, they know how important that building was to me. They know that when you throw someone under a bus, you've got to have a really bloody good reason to do it. Brand ambition is not good enough. It's not a good enough reason to throw someone under a bus." In a comment some believed to be directed at Holly, Phillip said, "People just went who I thought were my friends and they just went. And that's like, what the hell?" He continued, "It is hard to come to terms with the fact that the people you thought you knew were not the people that you knew. They had completely different agendas." Phillip then went on to declare that he doesn't need 200 fake friends, adding that he now has 10 to 15 pals he would die for. Secret meeting. This follows reports that Phillip's daughter Molly Schofield, 30, allegedly attended a secret meeting with ITV bosses, who she allegedly asked to apologize to her father for forcing him from his This Morning post. The Times reports that Molly, who acts as a publicist for her dad, also demanded to know whether or not Phillip had been blacklisted in the aftermath of his affair with a younger colleague. Molly was reportedly informed that Phillip had not been blacklisted, but no apology would be issued as Phillip makes his TV comeback. One source told the publication, "There's a lot of people who happily basked in Phillip's glory for many years and then just ditched him." Taking a different view, however, another said, "This Morning is happier without him. You always felt like you were walking on eggshells when he was there. He had an almost oppressive hold on the show." Do you have a story to share? Email me at julia.banham@reachbook.com. Follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.